someone, because I was just in Singapore before I flew here, and I met with, some young sharp guys, tech guys, and they want to launch their own coin, their own ICO. And, they wanted to know, if they could count on my support. And I said, well, to tell you the truth, I only invest in what I know is legitimate. I'm not into gambling on another ICO. I know Bitcoin's real, Ethereum's real, Zcash is real, other legitimate altcoins are real because they're decentralized. Is your ICO a decentralized coin? Is it on a decentralized platform? And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I said, well, what I mean by decentralized is nobody owns it or controls it. That's why Bitcoin succeeded when other digital coins before them failed and digital coins after them failed. And all digital coins that are miraculously created out of thin air that have no proof of work, no way to secure and protect the network through a distributed network of miners. No one's ever going to have any faith, trust, confidence, or belief in those coins because they're worthless. You just produce coins and say it's for this purpose or it's for that purpose and it's going to be worth this or it's going to be... Where's your guarantee? Where's your proof? First of all, history has already shown us that if it's not a decentralized platform that no one can control or manipulate, that no one owns, it's not going to succeed. Now, the one exception, I think, and there'll probably be other exceptions, but one that comes to mind is Ripple. Ripple is not a cryptocurrency. It is a digital currency created by the big banks. And their intention is to use it for institutional big money transfers. Okay, using a digital coin for that. And because of their support and backing and promotion, it'll probably be around for a while. Okay, but all of these fly-by-night con men and promoters, charlatans, that are trying to grab on the coattails of Bitcoin or Ethereum to try to prove up their model are never going to succeed because they haven't invested the kind of money and time that it takes to, first of all, have a blockchain that can't be hacked, that secures and protects the network. And a distributed network like Bitcoin has hundreds of millions of computers around the world, all these miners that are verifying and validating every transaction and documenting it on the blockchain. And that's something that, no one can hack, although they've tried. The establishment's tried, documented over 200 times. Never succeeded, never will, because it's actually more difficult now than it was years ago. Because as the transactions increase, the level of difficulty increases. Among other things that increase the difficulty. But about every 10 minutes, we have a new block that's being mined by all of the miners out there that are mining. So when you look at the history of cryptocurrency, first of all, most people don't understand the difference between a digital coin and cryptocurrency. Okay, cryptocurrency is encrypted. It's running on a blockchain that protects and secures all of the transactions that will, happen between parties. And it's because Bitcoin has proven itself over the years, over 9 years now, almost 9.5 years, that it's overcome every challenge, every obstacle, every piece of negative news, all the propaganda, all the opposition from the establishment. It succeeded. And it's come down to a point now where if you can't beat them, what do? You join them. So now you're seeing, banks and governments and multi-billion-dollar companies and some of the wealthiest people in the world that are all getting behind blockchain technology, in particular Bitcoin and its blockchain, although, there's other legitimate ones like Ethereum. But when people want to talk to me about these coins, it's like, about a little over a year ago, all of my friends started pitching me and telling me about YoCoin. Do you remember YoCoin?
Yeah. Uh-huh. That was big in the Vietnamese community. Huge.
And I told them, I said, okay, first of all, guys, let me just educate you because you haven't taken the time to do your due diligence. Do you know who the owners of that are? No. I said, we should, because they've already launched 2 other scam crypto opportunities. Scam people out of millions of dollars. So, probably a leopard doesn't change its spots. but you ought to check that out. Yeah, but this coin has gone from this to this, and it's going to go to that. I'm like, really? Have you gone online and looked at the order book to see who's buying and selling those coins? It's the owner selling them back and forth to each other to artificially drive the price up so that gullible people like you will pay a ridiculous price for that coin, and it's going to crash. It won't even be around. I doubt it'll last 6 months, which is about all it lasted, right?
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
And Gladia coin, same thing. Jet coin right after it. Ucoin, even before that in Thailand and parts of Asia. There's just been so many. I mean, you could just go down a list. Scam, 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 scam. And, they just keep recreating the next scam with a different name. But, same flaws that all the other previous scams have had. Now, if you know at least this much, you can see all these red flags. Because, they're like flashing neon signs, scam. Why people would put their money in these scam coins? Why? Because everybody wants to get rich quick. They want to get rich the easy, fast way. Well, if you want to live in the land of fairies and mermaids and unicorns, go ahead. But, I'm no longer a child. I don't read fairy tales anymore, right? But a lot of people still, I guess, buy into these fairy tales. And unfortunately, they get spanked or slapped real hard. And eventually, some of them actually wake up and they start looking for what's really legitimate. Because you kind of learn a little bit along the way. Maybe you got misled in the beginning. But if you keep getting misled, then shame on you.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got to take the time to investigate and educate yourself. Because Bitcoin is real. And I tell people, look, why would you take a chance on something that's unproven, untested, undocumented? There's absolutely zero documentation to back up what they're telling you. Why would you buy into that when you can actually get into something that's proven, that's legitimate? Because Bitcoin is going to climb to hundreds of thousands a coin. Eventually it'll be over 1 million a coin, because one Bitcoin can be divided into so many microbits. 100 million microbits in one Bitcoin. So if one microbit today was a penny, what would a Bitcoin be worth? $1 million. Because a lot of people are like, how could Bitcoin be $1 million? Well, you don't understand the digital world, obviously, and that one Bitcoin is comprised of 100 million microbits. So if a microbit was a penny, Bitcoin would be $1 million right now. So even now with the price of Bitcoin, a lot of people aren't buying whole Bitcoins, they're buying fractions of Bitcoin. They're buying $500 worth or $5,000 worth, and if they can afford it, they'll buy a whole Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin's $50,000 a coin later this year, or next year it goes to maybe $100,000, $150,000 a coin, a lot of people can't just buy one Bitcoin. The time to be earning Bitcoin is right now. Doesn't mean you're not going to make money a year from now or 2 years from now, but nowhere near as much as you are now, because here's the perspective that I try to give leaders. I say, look, let me talk to you about our industry, because we've all been successful in our industry, right? Doesn't matter how much you made or I made. We've all made money. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we're still here.
Now, the reality is that with traditional network marketing, let me say some things that I would assume that you already know. Traditional network marketing finds a product or a service and they mark it up, usually between 8 and 12 times, to pay out the compensation plan, which puts the price of the product or service above what similar products or services sell for in the marketplace. And then we recruit people that need to make money to sell a no-name brand that markets a product that's overpriced. And we wonder why people quit their first month or their second month or their third month, or that 90% quit within 6 months. So traditional network marketing, isn't it about replacing people all the time? You got to sponsor them faster than they quit. Now, I'm not exaggerating, am I?
No.
That's the truth. That's the grind. Now, we can still make millions of dollars in this industry. The industry's been very good to me. I mean, David's probably told you that, I've been in the industry almost 30 years. I built to the top of everything that I've joined. which means 10 companies, including BitClub, I've built to the top of the comp plan. And in 5 of those 10 companies, I've been the #1 income earner. So when I say the industry's been very good to me, it really has. But I can tell you that with BitClub Network, it's the best experience of my entire career by so many times more. And here's some of the reasons why. Imagine whether it's what you're making today, or maybe you made more with another project, whatever the case may be, whether it's today or in the past, how much would you be making today, or would you have made in the past, if no one in your business ever quit?
A lot.
Just let that sink in. Because if no one ever quit, and you're getting paid on everyone in perpetuity, you'd made at least 10 times more than you made, right? Because usually only 1 out of 10 stick, and sometimes they even quit.
Yeah.
You know, but we'd have made a lot more money. That's fair to say, right? Now, what if the business model, not only did they never quit and you got paid on them every day, and they never had to come out of pocket for any money? So one-time investment, but yet they're doing something that's paying them every single day, and we're overriding what they're earning every single day. Imagine that. And with our repurchase program, it's like every year they add another auto ship.
Yeah.
And then they got double the repurchasing power after the first year. So in half the time, 6-7 months, they've got 3 mining contracts we're overriding. And then 4, which means their income daily is going up, and so are our overrides and commissions. Pretty significant, isn't it? And that's the model that we have.
You have a really unique way of when somebody comes with an MLM to talk to you. Can you go through that process?
I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
You guys comes and calls you up, so they got a great good deal.
Yeah.
You know, Michael, I know you've been successful. I want to get you on the program. I got this MLM program. I want you to come over here and work with me.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a series of questions that you ask.
Right. Well, I was starting to kind of go down that path. I asked the first question already. What if no one ever quit? Mm-hmm. Okay. But it actually gets so much better than that with BitClub Network, because if you're in traditional MLM, whether you're making $100,000 a month or you're making more than that every month, the reality is you're getting paid in dollars that you're paying taxes on. True or not true?
True.
Well, when you're getting paid on Bitcoin, do you know that there's no tax on Bitcoin? It's still treated as property by the IRS, not as income, not as a form of money. Now, I think that's going to change, but the reality is right now, we don't have to pay tax on our Bitcoin. Now, if you convert it to their money, you're supposed to report that as a capital gain. The capital gains tax is still way less than income tax. But here's where it gets really good, is if you're earning $100,000 a month in whatever company, and I'm earning $100,000 a month in Bitcoin, what have you seen Bitcoin do over the last 12 months?
Multiply.
Go up in price.
Yeah, I mean, even at today's price, it's selling for 10 times more than it did a year ago at this
Last
time.
February.
Right? 10 times more. So if you earned $100,000 a month a year ago with BitClub Network, today that $100,000 is really $1 million, isn't it? And by the end of this year, that $1 million is really $5 million. And who knows what it's going to be worth in the future. Now, we've never had the ability to create that level of wealth in any program that any of us have ever been in, where what we're getting paid is going up in value so much, and we're not also having to report that as income and pay tax on it. And the best part is just the knowledge that no matter who gets involved with BitClub Network, no matter who, it could be an elderly person, it could be a young person, it could be someone that's a single parent, doesn't matter who it is, they cannot and will not get hurt. Now sometimes, people say, what do you mean get hurt? I'm like, well, come on. If you sell someone on an opportunity and they got to put hard-earned money into it and keep putting money into it to qualify for a check they're never going to get, because 85% of the people never get paid a check in network marketing, they're getting hurt. They're risking their reputation, their financial well-being. I mean, you could get hurt in MLM, which is why so many people have negative opinions of network marketing, because so many people have tried and failed. But, you know, the way that network marketing works, it doesn't give the average person really a fair chance. I mean, if they don't have people skills, communication skills, business skills, you know, work ethic, discipline, so forth and so on, and they're out there selling a product that is overpriced in most people's eyes from a brand they've never heard of, we're stacking the deck against them, aren't we? Now, we still have trained some incredible people that have succeeded despite the odds. Okay, so I don't want to take that away from any of us, because we've really tried to help as many people as we can. We've trained them, and some have gone on and become multimillionaires. But I can tell you this, in the history of network marketing, there has never been a company that has created as many multimillionaires as BITCLUB Network has in such a short period of time. I mean, I've got guys in my group